So now we will not wait for other students. We'll start. Chapter number 4. I think you already have studied deterministic finite automata. Is that correct? Yes. Okay. Priyank, Keval, Dev, fine. Start chapter number 4. Non-deterministic finite automata and Klein's theorem. And just compare the two pictures which is being displayed. The pictures that are being displayed. Look at them. One is the leftmost is for accepting the language 11 plus 110 star 0. Try to analyze the leftmost FA that will accept 11 plus 110 star 0. So only 0 is, now look at the RE, regular expression. It is ending with 0. 11 plus 110 whole star 0. So all the strings that end with 0, those strings are accepted by the given FA. Ending with 0 and any combination of 11 plus 110 star. So ending with 0 means only 0 is acceptable. Star is there, that curly bracket, that is the language. If I write regular expression, that becomes within parenthesis our normal bracket, that is 11, that comma becomes plus 11 plus 110 parenthesis over star and then 0. So any combination of 11110 and then ending with 0. So that is the language corresponding to the given RE. That is the regular language corresponding to the given regular expression. So only 0 is acceptable. So from Q0 state, currently we are focusing on the leftmost picture with the title FA. Initial state is Q0. So only 0 is acceptable. So Q0 to P on 0. Q0 to state P, that is double circle. State P is double circled and 0, only 0 is acceptable. Now after 0, if I get any other, after 0, if I get any other combination, then the string is not going to be accepted. It must end with 0. And after that 0, if I get any more symbols like 0, 1, that is not acceptable, because from the first part, 11 plus 110, it states that it must have first two characters as 11 and then ending with 0. So if in case it starts with 0, then subsequently we cannot have any other character. So from state P, double circled state, leftmost picture. So P to S, from state P to S, either 0 or 1, we reach a state that will not lead to acceptance of a string that is as good as a dead state. So 0 to 1 on the state S, and once we reach state S, we are not going to come out from that non-acceptable state. So in S, whether 0 or 1, string is not going to be accepted. So that is path Q0PS. Only 0 is acceptable. I ignore that 11 plus 110 star part. 0 I accept. After 0 I should not get anything. In case I get anything, then state P to state S, 0 over 1, that is non-acceptable state, and machine stays in the non-acceptable state. So the string is not going to be accepted. So in the state S, 0 or 1 remains S. So that is my Q0PS states and the remaining transitions, according transitions. Now if I start with 1, so now I'm focusing on the pattern 11 plus 110 star. So if I start with 1, state is Q0, I reach state R. Q0, R on 1. In second one, because 11 plus 110 star, in both the cases, the initial prefix is 11. So Q0 to R 1. In the second one, we are moving to the state T. Q0 R T. In the direction is that, in symbols are 1 and 1. Q0 to R 1. And second one is between R to T. So I have consumed 2 1. Now if I look at the RE, then 11 plus 110. So let us not think about plus 110 is of now only 11. Any number of times this 11 star 0, or if I simply state 110 is acceptable. 11 from the first part, I select 11 from the first part in the RE and then 0. So if I say Q0 RT U, that is corresponding to 110. Only 110 is acceptable. Only 110 is acceptable. I select 11 from the first part in the RE and 0 I select in the second part, or maybe something like that. In the first part I select 110 and in the second part I select 0. So that becomes 1100. So I take a path Q0 to R to T to U and then P. So 1100. My first one Q0 to R, second one R to T, 0, that is T to U, and we have to accept 110, therefore U is an accepting state. Also we have to accept 1100. So from U to P, once more to another state, I mean P is already there, I'm connecting there. So 1100 is acceptable. Now again, back to the pattern. 11, any number of times the combination of 11110 ending with 0. So let me focus right now on only 11. Any number of times 11 ending with 0, I'm taking sub part. So Q0 RT, I have consumed 21, and then I should be able to add any number of times this even 1. I should be able to say 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, and then 0. Any number of times this 11. So I'm directing this T back to R. So that will say first 11, that is Q0 RT. Then any number of times this even pattern 11 repeated, that is taken care between states RT. So RT will consume 2 ones. Q0 RT, double 1. Then T to R back to T, even ones, 2 more ones. 4 ones, 6 1, 8 ones, any number of times. So ultimately I will be in the state T when that even count of ones is over. Either 2 ones or 4 ones or 6 ones, 8 ones, etc. So I'll be in the state T, and then ultimately it should end with 0. So I'm going back to U, the one of the accepting states. So I have taken care about this 1-1 pattern repetition ending with 0 between the states Q0 RT U. That is taken care. But then I also have any combination of 110. So now let us keep aside this 11 in the RE. Now I'm focusing only on 110. So 110 star, it means any number of times the repetition of the pattern 110 and then ending with 0. So let me see 110. So Q0 RT U. Q0 RT U handles this 110 for the first time. Q0 to R, that is 1, R to T is second one, T to U 0. So that is handled, 110 is handled for the first time between the states Q0 RT U. Now I should have this 110 any number of times. So I'm connecting U back to R. So that is 1, R to T is second one, and T to U 0. So that is 110. That is a loop 110. So between this U R T, we are handling the pattern 110, and again any number of times. That is U R T takes the pattern 110, and if you loop this, you can handle this 110 any number of times. And then ultimately after this 110 any number of times, it has to end with 0. So again U to P, that is 0. So I have taken care of the pattern 110 by putting a connection between U to R. Between U to R. So my first 110 is Q0 RTU. So I reach U with the first 110. Q0 RTU. That will take care of the pattern 110 for the first time. And if I require repetition of this 110, then U R T, that will consume 110. And this can be looped any number of times to handle any number of combination of 110. So I have separately handled 11, that is between Q0 RT back to R. So I have separately handled 11 any number of times. I have separately handled 110 between Q0 RT U and then U R T. that will handle 110 more number of times. So I have separately handled them. Now it is 11 plus 110 star. So any combination of this 11110 may not be necessarily that it's only 11 exclusively, then only 110 exclusively. It could be something like 110, then 11, then 11, then 110. So that is again taken care. If I want to handle 110, then I take a I take a path URT that will take care of 110, and subsequently if I want to handle 11, then it is between R2T. So that will handle the pattern 11. So 110 is handled by URT and 11 is handled by RTR. And we can take any combination. We can take any combination. 11 plus 110. Any combination of 11110 star that is handled between RT and URT. Ending with 0. If it is some patterns of 11 and then 0, then it is T2U, that is ending with 0. And if it is the last pattern before 0 is 110, then I will be in the state U, and that will handle 110 in the state U, and the last 0 that is between U to P. So that is 0. And that's the reason we have two separate states, P and U. Two accepting states are required. I cannot merge those accepting states because I have to handle combination of 11, 110. So therefore we have two different accepting states. One is P and other is U. And last possibility that is left is, suppose after I get 1, I get 0. In the initial state is Q0. Processing always begins in state Q0, the initial state. So Q0 to R, that is my first one. If I get a 1, then the next symbol has to be 1. Then it will form the pattern 11 or 110 star. In case after 1 I get 0, the string is going to be rejected. Because after first, if I get 1, 1, then my next symbol has to be second one. 1, 1 or 110. Either exclusively 0, that is fine. That is Q0 to P. Or it is first one, then the next character has to be second one. If it is not, then I go to state S, non-accepting state. String is going to be rejected. It's not going to be accepted. So it is Q0RS. After my first one, if I get 0, go to state S and string is rejected. 0, 1 in S itself. So my leftmost picture, that is FA, for accepting the language 11 plus 110 star 0. Is that fine? Is that fine? Dev, Love, Preet, Keval, Yash, Janil, Devansh, okay, Harsh Patel. Now the purpose of, now let us go to the second picture. Here we are not discussing how to construct a finite automata for a given language. Already you have studied that. Why we took the example? Let us look at the second picture. Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, the rightmost picture. Once again, the initial state is always Q0 as per the convention, as per the formal definition. And if I get 0, if my first symbol is 0, we know it is going to be accepted. So Q0 to Q4, 0, Q4 is an accepting state. We have to accept 0. 11 plus 110 star, so I don't take anything out of that. Next pattern is 0. So Q0 to Q4, 0, I accept it. Again, suppose it is only 1, 1, then ending with 0. Then from Q0, I decide to go to state Q1, and Q0 to Q1, and the transitions between them will handle the pattern 1, 1 any number of times. Q0 to Q1, 1. Q1 to Q0 back to 1. So those are 2 1s. If it is 4 1s, back to Q1, going to Q1, back to Q0, that will handle 4 1s. Again, 6 1s, 8 1s, 10 1s, whatever, ending with 0. So that 1 1 star 0, that is handled between Q0, Q1, back to Q0, and then Q4. And if I want to handle 110, then I take the bottom path, Q0, Q2, Q3, that will handle 110 star, 110 star. So Q0, Q2, Q0, Q2, Q3, 110, and then looping this, that will take care of 110 star. So my Q0 to Q1 transitions will take care of 11 star. Q0, Q2, Q3 will take care of 110 star, and then the combination of 11, 11, 11, 11 and 110. So if I want 11, then I take Q0, Q1 back to Q0. After 11, if I want 110, then I will take Q0, Q2, Q3 back to Q0. So that will handle these states Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3. It will handle 11 plus 110 whole star. 11 plus 110 whole star. That is handled by Q0, Q1, Q0, Q0, Q2, Q3, Q0. And then ending with 0, that is Q0 to Q4. Only accepting state is Q4. So instead of a lot of analysis that we did in the leftmost picture, suppose we are permitted to have, for accepting with a simplified automata, that is Q0 to Q1 will take care of 11 star, Q0, Q2, Q3 will take care of 110 star, ending with 0, transition to the accepting state. Then I think we don't require that much analysis. The task for constructing an automata for the given language simplifies. The task for constructing an automaton for the given language gets simplified. So that is a simplified picture, and the name given to that version of automata is non-deterministic finite automata. My leftmost was deterministic finite automata. We started with a language, a regular language. We constructed a deterministic finite automata. For the same language, if you look at the rightmost picture, then it becomes very easy to construct the non-deterministic version. 11, my top portion, 110, bottom portion, ending with 0, the only accepting state. So this is a modified version of FA, or version of FA, which is known as non-deterministic finite automata. A simpler approach for accepting 11110 star 0, that is indicated by my rightmost picture, and the name given to that automata, or the version of that automata, is non-deterministic finite automata. It's a version of FA only, and that is non-deterministic finite automata. The left one is the deterministic finite automata. The right one is non-deterministic finite automata. So here we are not studying how to construct DFA, but we are analyzing how much easier it is to construct a non-deterministic version for non-deterministic version of finite automata for accepting a regular language. So that was the purpose. We analyzed, or we constructed FA, and then we saw how much easier it is to construct a non-deterministic version. So this is our title, non-determinism and Kleen's theorem. So this is an example of a non-determinism. This is an example of non-deterministic finite automata for accepting a regular language. Now let us compare. We analyzed and constructed DFA, and corresponding we constructed non-deterministic finite automata. Let us compare features of this DFA and NFA. How NFA is different from FA. How NFA is different from FA. Already the last bottom line, that is the most important observation for in an NFA. For some state input combination, no transition is specified. It's not required to specify transition for all state input combinations. For example, in the state Q4, the only accepting state in NFA, you have not specified any transition. You have not specified any transition from state Q1 on 0. So for some state input combination, no transition is required to be specified. We don't require to specify transition for all state input combinations. So this is one major difference between NFA and FA. In the case of deterministic FA, for state input symbol, for state and all input symbols, we must have transitions defined. Therefore, it is called deterministic finite automata. Here in NFA, for a state input combination, a transition may not be defined. Not only that, do you see any other difference between NFA and DFA? Two transitions from Q0 for input 1. For a state symbol combination, multiple transitions could also be defined. from Q0. For example, from state Q0 in NFA, on 1, transition is to the state Q1 or Q2. So for Q0, 1, my transitions are Q1, Q2. Priyank is saying in NFA, for same input redundant state is there. Yeah, multiple transitions defined for an input from a state in the case of NFA. Example was Q0 on 1, transition to either Q1 or to Q2. Multiple transitions are defined or no transition defined. For example, state Q2 do you take? Delta Q2, 0. Q2 on 0, transition is not defined. So either no transition for a state symbol combination, that is also fine. Multiple transitions for a state symbol combination, that is also fine. Yeah, Urjit, it can choose either path, and that is what is non-determinism. We'll address this particular issue. Multiple. So in any non-deterministic model of computation, there will always be a choice, and choice is permissible. Multiple paths are there, choice is there, choice is permissible. That is basic characteristic of any non-deterministic model of computation. May that be FA, finite automata, or push-down automata, or Turing machine. Choice is there in non-deterministic version of any model of computation. Fine. So with that, those are two important characteristics of NFA. For some states, input combination, no transition may be defined, or multiple transitions from a state for an input symbol to transition from Q0 on input 1, that is also fine. Now, the question that Ujit was asking regarding choice, regarding multiple transitions, regarding which path to select whenever multiple paths are available. So here, the definition for acceptance of a string. Defining acceptance of a string by NFA. So some path corresponding to the string should lead to an accepting state, because there are choices. For example, in state Q0 on 1, I can go to Q1 or I may go to state Q2. Multiple paths are there. The condition for acceptance of a string in NFA, it is some path corresponding to the string should lead to an accepting state. Not necessary that all paths lead to that. Some path corresponding to the string should lead to an accepting state. Suppose if I make a wrong choice, then for that particular sequence, I may not end up in an accepting state. That is fine. Discard that. Try out the next possibility. Till you reach an accepting state, till you find a combination that will take you to the accepting state, you have to try out. Till all the combinations are exhausted, you have to try out if you don't get any accepting configuration. So if you get one sequence of moves that take you to an accepting state, you stop here. String is accepted. That's fine. You don't need to try out alternate choices. However, that particular sequence of moves don't take you to an accepting state, then try out next. Try out next. If that fails, try out next. Till everything is exhausted, or you get a sequence of moves that take you to the accepting state, you have to try out. So that is the condition for acceptance of a string. Some path corresponding to the string should lead to an accepting state. If one path doesn't lead to an accepting state, you can't stop. You can't declare that the string is rejected. You have to try out the next path if it is available. If that fails, try out another path. Till you get one correct path, you have to try out. And in case you don't get any correct path after trying out all the possibilities, then you declare that the string is rejected. So that is how an NFA is interpreted. That is the condition for acceptance of a string in any non-deterministic finite automata. For that matter, it is for any non-deterministic model of computation. You have to try out all the possibility till you get a right one. If everything gets exhausted, then only you declare that it is not part of the language. So that is condition for acceptance of a string. Then what is the purpose of, more feature of NFA? NFA is allowed to guess and make mistakes. When somebody says it's a deterministic model of computation, it cannot make any guess, nor it can make any mistake. When we talk about non-deterministic FA, then it is allowed to guess and make mistakes. I said, if multiple paths are there, it can randomly select one of the paths. If that is not correct, then try out next. So it can guess which path to take, which state to visit next. If multiple options are there, and there could be possibility of mistakes, that's fine. But ultimately it has to come up with one correct sequence of moves that is required. And the purpose of constructing NFA, the purpose of introducing non-determinism in NFA, it is structure is simple. Why we have a deterministic FA accepting the same language. Still, why do we consider non-determinism in FA? Because the process of constructing FA is simpler. See, a lot of paths we needed to analyze in constructing FA. That 11 plus 110 star. Lot many observations, lot of analysis was required. Compared to that, it was very simple for me. 11 handle between Q0 to Q1 and 110 handle between Q0, Q2, Q3. So the process of constructing NFA for a given regular language, it is simpler compared to constructing a deterministic FA. And the structure of NFA, that is simpler compared to FA. Not only that, the structure closely matches the regular expression. If I look at this NFA, it's easy for me to find out that this is for the language 11 plus 110 star. 11 plus 110 star 0. From this structure, I can easily make out the structure of NFA closely matches the RE. Whereas from the given FA, it's very difficult for me to find out which language is getting accepted by the FA. So these are the advantages of NFA or FA. Structure of NFA is simple, less number of states, and closely matches the regular expression. And NFA is allowed to guess and make mistakes. Structure of NFA is simple, fewer states, and the structure closely matches the regular expression. So that is about non-determinism in finite automata. Please understand that whatever is possible using NFA, whatever language you can accept using NFA, the same regular language can also be accepted by some deterministic finite automata. So in that way, NFA is not more powerful than DFA. Advantages we have mentioned, but in terms of language acceptance, NFA and DFA are equally powerful. It is not the case that NFA accepts more regular language than corresponding DFA. So if a language is regular, you will always find a DFA that would accept it. You can always find NFA that would accept it. So nothing added. In fact, I can convert any NFA to DFA. We'll discuss that later. I can, from a given NFA, I can get a deterministic finite automata. So in terms of power, when we say power, it is in terms of language acceptance. For language acceptance, NFA and DFA are equally powerful. NFA is not more powerful than DFA. Fine. Then why we go for NFA? The benefits we have already listed them. Structure of NFA is simple, less states. States means states denote memory. Less memory means less cost. And the structure closely matches the RE. These are the advantages of NFA. That's the reason we introduce non-determinism in finite automata. Though, in terms of acceptance of language, both of them are equally powerful, DFA or NFA. Any regular language is there, you can always have FA corresponding to the language. You can construct DFA, you can construct NFA for the given regular language. We know there is one-to-one correspondence between regular language, finite automata, and regular expression. If a language is regular, we always have a regular expression corresponding to it. Not only that, we always have a finite automata corresponding to the given regular language. So there is one-to-one correspondence between regular language, regular expression, and finite automata. Fine. Now let us look at the formal definition of NFA. Having seen an example, now let's formally define a non-deterministic finite automata. So NFA M comprised of 5 tuples Q, sigma, Q0, A, del. Same tuples are there in the formal definition of a deterministic finite automata. Urjit, do you have any doubt now? Any query to anyone? Fine. Now let us formally define a non-deterministic finite automata. Same tuples are there. Q, sigma, Q0, A del. Same tuples as that of a deterministic FA. Formal definition of NFA. Same meaning for Q. Same meaning for all 5 tuples. Q, a set of states, a set of finite states. Q0, the initial state. A set of finite accepting states. And of course, A is a subset of Q. Small q0 is always the starting state. So q0 belongs to Q, capital Q. And only difference is in the definition of del, the last delta. Only change here, it is in the definition of delta. Delta is always there. It is also there in DFA, in DFA's formal definition. Q0, Q, sigma, Q0, A, delta. All these tuples are there in the formal definition of DFA as well as NFA. No change. Only change is in the type of the function delta is. Delta is a mapping from Q cross sigma to 2 raised to Q. Delta in the case of DFA is what? What type of function is delta? In the case of DFA, what type of function is delta? It is Q cross sigma 2, Q cross sigma, then that arrow in the right hand side of the array, yeah, that is transition to Q, which means in the case of D, yeah, exactly, Keval rightly said, it's a mapping from Q cross sigma to Q, which means for a state symbol combination in DFA, there is exactly one state. The next state to be visited is a single state, Q cross sigma to Q. So there is for a state symbol combination, there is exactly one state to be visited next, very deterministic. Whereas here it is 2 raised to Q. It is a set of subsets of Q. It is power set of Q or set of subsets of Q, which means for a state symbol, I can have multiple states to be visited next. I can visit any one of the multiple states. So it is set of subsets. So for a state symbol, I have something like bracket, curly bracket, and then some entries there. It means it is a set. Whereas in the case of deterministic FA, it is a single element. It is a single state. So from a state, for a symbol, I visit a single state in DFA. There is exactly one entry. Whereas here, for a state symbol, I have a choice. I can have multiple states to be visited. I can select one of those entries. So it is 2 raised to Q. It is set of subsets of Q. So only difference it is in the type of delta function. All 5 tuples are same, whether it is DFA or NFA. Same meaning for all tuples. Same meanings for all 4. Same values for all 4 parameters except delta. And only change is in the delta, and the change is instead of Q, in the right hand side of arrow, it is 2 raised to Q. It means I have multiple entries. In the case of DFA, there is a single entry. So that is almost same definition between NFA and DFA. Formal definition, same formal definition of NFA and DFA, except the change, it is in type of delta. Fine. Now, similar to FA, delta star is same delta star PXA, where X belongs to sigma star, X is a string, and A is a symbol, A belongs to sigma. So I want to find out from state P, P belongs to capital Q, P is a state, delta star PXA. So from state P, for the string XA, what state, how to find out which states to be visited? So it is same, delta star PX, and to that I apply delta on A. So meaning is from state P, on string X, I find out the next set of states that is to be visited, and from that it is delta A. So I process X. In the case of DFA, what happens? From P, process X. X is a set of symbols. X is a string. So from P, I find out the state that is to be visited on X, string X. And then from that particular state, I find out the next state that is to be visited on only remaining symbol, that is A. So that is how I get a state. From P, find out next state after processing X. And from that particular state, process A and go to the next state. That is delta star PXA in the case of FA. Here also it is same. Instead of getting a single value from P on X, I can have multiple values. And from that, then on A, find out the next value. So as far as mathematical definition is concerned, delta star PXA, that is equal to delta star PXA, same as that of FA. Now let us look at the non-recursive definition of delta star for NFA, or let us look at the recursive definition rather. How do we calculate that? Look at this. Recursive definition of delta star for NFA. How do we compute delta star in the case of NFA? Statement number 2 is important. Let M equal to all those 5 tuples, Q sigma Q0 A delta. Same meaning for the tuples. M equal to this, be an NFA. The function delta star. So to the state transition function delta, we are applying the operator closer. So that becomes delta star. In simple words, it is from a state after processing a string, what are the options, which are the states I can visit? So it is multiple, it's multiple symbols. When I say it is a string, X is a string. So from a given state, after processing all the symbols of the string, let me know the states that I can visit. That is meaning of delta star. That is meaning of computing delta star from a state for an input string. In the case of DFA, what happens? Everything is deterministic. Always one entry. For a state symbol, there is exactly one entry. So there is no option there. So I have exactly one state that I can visit. Whereas here, the path is unique there. Whereas here I can have multiple entries. So what happens? Look at rule number 2. I want to compute delta star QYA. I want to find out that. So my string, my input is X, which I bifurcate as YA. Y belongs to sigma star, A belongs to sigma. So my input suppose is ABCD, just for an example. Then my Y is ABC and my A, that is D. In case my sigma is A, B, C, D. So I want to find out from state Q, what are the options that are with me after processing ABCD. So in ABCD, that ABC, that will be my Y, and that D, the last part, is a single symbol. See, A belongs to sigma. Delta star QY I want to find out. So Y belongs to sigma star, so that is my ABC, and last one is A, so that is my D. That's a single symbol. So I want to find out delta star QYA. So what I do? Union of delta PA, and before that I compute delta star QY. Is P belonging to delta star QY, delta PA? What does that mean? P belongs to delta star QY, that is below the union operator. So from Q, find out a set of states that I can visit after processing Y. Y is my string. Y may be something like X1, X2, X3, or ABC, as I said. X1, X2, X3, as I said. So find out the set of states that I can visit from Q on Y. Process Y. Process Y. Starting state is my Q. And because this is a non-deterministic finite automata, I can have multiple paths. Therefore, after processing Y, my endpoints will be different states. In fact, that will be a set of states. In the case of DFA, that will be a single value, that is a single state. Whereas here, there are multiple states. I can process Y in different ways from Q. So the endpoint, the end state that I can visit from Q after processing Y, that will be my set of states that will be visited from Q on Y. Now from this every element, suppose my initial state is Q, and on processing Y, which is ABC, I get say entry Q1, Q2, Q3. So delta star Q comma Y will be the set Q1 comma Q2 comma Q3, because I can process my input Y in different ways. I have different paths available, and all of them end with different states, and those ending points are Q1, Q2, Q3. So delta star Q comma Y will be the set Q1 comma Q2 comma Q3. But I have to process actually not only not only Y, I have to process YA. My input is YA. So from this Q1, Q2, Q3, I'll find out on A which are the states that can be visited. So it is something like delta. It is something like delta PA, where P belongs to delta star QY. So where P is equal to actually Q1, Q2, Q3. So I'll find out Q1A, Q2A, and Q3A and take the union. From Q, after processing Y, let us stick to the example. My input string is ABCD. Starting from Q, what I do, I process ABC. I ignore the last symbol, process remaining symbols, because this is a recursive definition. This is a recursive definition. I go step by step. That is how recursion works. I'll process out of ABCD, I'll process ABC. And so from delta star QY, after processing ABC, I am reaching through different paths. Suppose I am reaching Q1, comma Q2, comma Q3. So still I have not processed D. I have only processed ABC. So from this Q1, Q2, Q3, I'll find out delta Q1A, delta Q2A, and then delta Q3A, and then club them. That is basically applying the union operator. From Q1 on A, which are the states I can visit? From Q2 on A, which are the states I can visit? Q3 on A, which are the states I can visit? Whatever answer I get, I take the union. And that is my delta star QYA. That is my delta star QYA, union of this delta Q1A, delta Q2A, delta Q3A. And what is this Q1, Q2, Q3? That is my delta star QY. Those are Q1, Q2, Q3 are elements of delta star QY. So that is rule number 2. My input is ABCD from the state Q. After processing ABCD, which are the different states I can reach? That is, we have found out. Find out the states that you can visit after processing Y. So that is delta star QY. And from that set of states, from every element of that set of states, find out the next state that you can visit for the remaining symbol. That is my symbol A. That is my symbol A. And that will be my answer. That is delta star QYA. Is this okay? Rule number 2. Priyank, Urjit. Rule number 2, Keval, fine. Devansh, fine. Sign is fine. Fine. So my rule number 1, ultimately this is a recursive definition, because I have defined delta star QYA in terms of delta star QY. Ultimately, it has to end. Recursion has to end. My input is ABCD. I treat ABCD as ABC and D. Then again, I have to calculate delta star QABC. So again in QABC, I will treat AB and then C. So delta star QAB. Again in AB, I'll treat A and B separately. So I go on shortening the string. So ultimately, nothing will be left. AB is from ABCD, it is ABC. From that AB, then only A, then null. So that is my rule number 1. When it is delta star Q null, then delta star Q null, it is Q. It means if I am in state Q and I don't have any input symbol, I stay in the same state. So it is delta star Q null, that is equal to Q. If my present state is Q, my current symbol is, I don't have any symbol, it is null. then I stay in the state Q. So that is delta star Q null equal to state Q. That is my rule number 1, the terminating condition. So this is formal definition. Similarly, there is a non-recursive definition. Concept remains same. Concept remains the same. I process P0, P1 up to Pn minus 1 and get a set of states, and then process Pn. Then process Pn. You can just look at that in the textbook. Non-recursive definition. Fine. My input is P0, P1, Pn minus Pn. So I'll process this P0, P1, Pn minus 1 and then process Pn. More captured in a structured way in the recursive definition. That is my rule number 1 and 2. Recursive definition for delta star for NFA. Maybe let me see if I this one. This we have defined. We have defined delta star. We have defined closure of delta. That is, delta star means closure. Applying operator closure to delta. In simple words, instead of processing a single symbol, I process multiple symbols. If it is delta, it is something like delta Q and then single symbol. Delta QA. Instead of this single symbol A, if I want to process ABCD, for example, and then it is multiple symbols. And whenever there's multiple symbols, then we apply the star operator. Delta star Q ABCD. It is delta star Q ABCD, multiple symbols ABCD. If it is a single symbol, then we say it is delta QA. So that is delta star, applying star operator to delta. And we take an example of this definition. Already we have understood this. Just for more clarification, we take this example. Now we represent a finite or NFA either using state transition table or using state transition diagram. Both of them are fine. We can represent NFA or for that matter DFA using either state transition table or state transition diagram as per our choice. So just for the sake of completion, we have specified both table as well as diagram, state transition table as well as state transition diagram. So from Q, if my initial state is Q0, then from Q0 on 0, I go to Q0, and on 1, I can go to either Q0 or Q1. That is my entry. Let us look at this table. Yeah. The last bottom line, Q0 on 0, I stay in the state Q0, 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 Q1, last row. So Q0 on 0, my leftmost column is Q, that's the state. Then delta Q0. So it is a single, the movement is in using single symbol, Q, 0, 0. So it is delta. Similarly, delta Q1, single symbol 1. So it is not delta star, but delta. Whenever there is a movement, symbol by symbol from a state, then it is delta. And if it is movement for an entire string, then it is delta star. Fine. So this is delta Q0, delta Q1. This transition table that is given to us, that is our input. Q0 on 0, machine stays in state Q0. On 1, it goes to either Q0 or Q1. Similarly, from Q1 on 0, it goes to Q2. On 1, it also goes to Q2 for 1. Yeah. From Q2, whether it is 0 or 1, makes a transition to Q3, and from Q3, no transition specified. So that is phi, phi. Alternatively, this is my state transition diagram for representing the given NFA. And this is NFA because you see multiple entries. This from the table also you can find out this is table for NFA, not for DFA, because I have entry like Q0, Q1. Moreover, I have entry phi, phi. I have entry 55. So this is NFA. Alternatively, we have state transition diagram for the given NFA. From Q0 on 1, delta Q01, it is Q0 comma Q1. So Q0 on 1, I stay in Q0. I also have a choice to go to Q1. So this is state transition diagram for given NFA. Fine. We were taking example. Let's compute delta star Q0 triple one, delta star Q0 011 using our recursive definition. Using this definition for delta star for an NFA, we compute delta star Q0 triple one, delta star Q0 011 for the given NFA. So NFA is input in this example. Here we are seeing the use of our definition, our recursive definition for computing delta star Q0 triple one, delta star Q0 011 for given NFA. NFA is given to us. Compute delta star Q0 triple one, delta star Q0 011. So we apply. Let's focus on this left part, computing delta star Q0 triple one. Computing delta star Q0 triple one. So if you look at, let us go from bottom to the top. As per the definition, I split my input. Here my input is 111. I want to find out the states that can be visited from Q0 after processing triple one. That is meaning of delta star Q0 triple one. Computing delta star Q0 triple one. From state Q0 after I process 111, which are the different state that I can visit? That is meaning of computing delta star Q0 triple one. So as per the definition, it is union of P belonging to delta star entire string except the last symbol. So it is double one, and then the last symbol is taken care in the delta, because delta deals with a single symbol, single input symbol. So that is delta P1. From Q0 after processing 11, I get a set of states, and from every element of that set, compute which are the state I can visit on 1. So I split my input triple one as double one and then 1. So it is P belonging to delta star Q0 double one delta P1. So I need to compute, this is a recursive definition, I still need to compute delta star Q0 double one. In order to find out delta star Q0 triple one, I need to compute delta star Q0 double one, as it is a recursive definition. So I must find out delta star Q0 double one. So here it is. Again, double one, I need to compute delta star Q0 double one. So I split my double one as first part is single one and the second part string symbol. So first part is 1, second part is also 1. So P belongs to delta star Q01, delta P1. So I need to find out delta star Q01. I need to find out delta star Q01. And for a string of length 1, delta and delta star are interchangeable. So it is, if it is delta star Q01, it is same as delta Q01. For a string of length 1, that is the second part, Q01. For a string of length 1, delta and delta star are interchangeable. We can prove this very easily mathematically. So delta star Q01, it is same as delta Q01. And delta Q01, I can easily find out from the table. I can either use table or the diagram as per your choice. So delta star Q01 or delta Q01, it is Q0 comma Q1, last bottom entry. Delta Q01, it is Q0 comma Q1. So here I have taken that. We belong to delta star Q01 from the table. It is Q0 comma Q1 remaining as it is. So now I have values of P. P is either Q0 or Q1 and then on 1. So it is basically delta Q01 union delta Q11. Value of P, it is coming from the set Q0 comma Q1. So value of P is either Q0 or Q1 and we apply delta. So it is delta Q01 union delta Q11 and delta Q01 and Q11. Let us go to the Q01, Q01 and Q11. So last columns, the last column. Q01 is Q0 Q1, Q11 it is Q2. My state is Q0, symbol is 1. So Q01 that is Q0 Q1, then Q11 that is Q2. So if I take, so first answer is Q0 Q1 and second answer is Q2. So delta Q01 is Q0 Q1 and second answer delta Q11 it is Q2 and the union. So answer I get is Q0 Q1 Q2. So that is how I computed delta star Q011. But I'm looking for, I need to compute delta star Q011. So that will have P belong to delta star Q011. I have already computed that to be Q0 Q1 Q2. So I put those values. P belongs to delta Q0 Q1 Q2 delta P1. So value of P is either Q0 or Q1 or Q2 and 1. So it is delta Q01, delta Q11, delta Q21, Q0 Q1 Q2 1 on 1. So from the table I can get Q0 Q1 Q2 on 1, last column, and we are applying a union. So it is Q0 Q1 Q2 Q3. My answer is Q0 Q1 union Q2 union Q3. So the final answer is Q0 Q1 Q2 Q3. That is how Q0 Q1 Q2 Q3. So I have computed delta star Q011 using our recursive definition. My answer is Q0 Q1 Q2 Q3. Similarly, if I compute delta star Q001, second part, second column, I'm computing delta star Q0011. So that is my second part. And answer we get is Q0 Q1. Same way. The input is 0 1. In the second case 0 1 1. So my first I'll compute for string 0 1 and then 1. In the case of triple what we did, computed for delta star Q011 and then 1. Similar here, I'll compute for 0 1 and then for entire string 0 1 1. Here it's required because this is a recursive definition. We need to compute delta star Q001 and then apply 1. So actually input is 0 1 1. So I split a string that is 0 1 and the symbol 1. So I need to compute delta star Q001. Below that union, P belongs to delta star Q001 and then apply delta P on 1. So here I have computed delta star Q001. Again in 0 1 I'll split as 0 and 1, string and symbol 1. So delta star Q00 I need to compute. P belong to delta star Q00 delta P1. And for a string of length 1, so delta star Q00 it is same as delta Q00. So that I can Q00 from this table, Q00 answer is Q0. So P belonging to set Q0. So there is a single entry. So P is Q0. P belonging to delta star Q00. That is answer is Q0. So P belonging to the set Q0 means P equal to Q0 single value. So that is delta Q01 and delta Q01 from the table. Q01 answer is Q0 Q1. So that answer is Q0 Q1. I have found out delta star Q001. Answer is set Q0 Q1. Why did we calculate that? Because we want to compute delta star Q0011 and it requires P belonging to delta star Q001. Earlier we have calculated that to be Q0 Q1. So we put that value Q0 Q1 delta P1. So value of P is either Q0 or Q1 on 1 with union operator. So delta Q01 union delta Q11. So Q01 and Q11. Let's see, go back to this. Q01 and Q11. So the entries are Q0 Q1, the last column. Q01 is Q0 Q1, Q11 is Q2. Their union we take, so its answer will be Q0 Q1 Q2. will be Q0, Q1, Q2. So there we have computed delta star Q0 011. We also computed delta star Q0 111. We also computed delta star Q0 111 using our recursive definition of delta star for NFA. Using this definition, we worked out two examples: delta star Q0 111, delta star Q0 011. This is fine, students. Use of the definition, examples. Priyank, Keval, Urjit, okay, fine. So the result that we have obtained, delta star Q0 111, answer is Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, and delta star Q0 011, the answer is Q0, Q1, Q2. We'll interpret this result in the next lecture. We'll start next lecture by interpreting this result. What is meaning of this answer in the perspective of given NFA? The perspective of given NFA, when we get this answer, what is the meaning of this answer? That is the condition for acceptance of a string. We'll discuss that in the next lecture. Acceptance by an NFA. We'll discuss this formal definition and then what is the interpretation of the answer that we have obtained. That will be our initial topic in the next lecture. That's fine. We stop here.